Plus it helps me understand when I actually try to read. Okay. So this is the forwards backwards thing we kind of talked about, and the ways you want to think about how you can influence wrong. So the way I want you to think of forward is basically equal to concentric.
Mm-hmm.
The way I want you to think of backward
Mm-hmm.
is equal to eccentric.
Wait minutes, I'm gonna wait
Yeah.
minutes.
Now, do you remember what concentric meant?
Going towards,
Yes. So
towards
going
your,
forward.
towards,
Remember, this is, let's not think about this from gravity, just think about the intended
yes,
movement.
yes,
You
intended.
can send this to you, because I'll be like,
Oh, okay,
And then for eccentric, what is the difference?
away
Going away.
from your point.
Yep, going away from intended movement.
Boy, where were you years ago? That's when it happened.
I was still growing up.
I know, you were a baby.
Okay, so this is a very specific example, but I'm using this for overhead press because this is one of the things that's actually been, I've been working on because I can't do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So for forward and backward, the two main movements is concentric, or just going the overhead press, specifically going up.
Yeah,
Or going down, basically, would be the lat pull down, or going backwards. Okay.
last lap, hold down. That's concentric down.
Yes.
Mhm.
No, sorry. This backward would be the eccentric for lat pull down.
Oh, yeah, because I'm
Yeah.
thinking, wait a minute, because I always thought easy, okay. But your
So-
intended to,
Sorry, this would be going up.
but your intention
Yeah, it would be going up.
is
Sorry.
go down. But
So
I
it
always
would
thought
be-
this was
It would be
eccentric,
lat pull down going up.
a lap pull down.
That's why, intended movement. That's the big difference between my definition and everybody else's.
Okay, so the lap.
Lat pull down normally goes down,
Yes,
okay? But the backwards of the lat pull down would be going up.
right.
It's another way of working an overhead press.
So eccentric is going up.
Yes. Going away from the intended movement.
Yes,
Lat
but I
pull
thought
down.
before it was
Lat pull down is the intended movement.
eccentric.
Intended movement.
Intended is down.
If I'm trying to do a lat pull down, then the
Intended
intended
is
is going
down.
down. If I'm trying to do an
So that's
overhead press,
concentric.
the
And
intended is going
go
up. Yeah, that's why I put
Yeah.
the lat pull down
Yeah.
first, and then I'm explaining it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, I got it.
So that's why I mean the intended movement changes the way you see this.
It
This is
does.
why I didn't want to say
It does.
gravity, because now if you're thinking only in terms of gravity, well, this is always.
Oh, it does, because
Yeah.
like the squat,
Yeah,
that,
yeah, and then if you're doing a reverse squat, it's completely different.
uh-huh.
So that's
So
why.
a squat, you're intended to go down. No, you're intended to go up, but you have to go down before you go up. See, that's what always goes,
Yeah.
yeah.
The eccentric on the squat is actually going down.
It is, I know, see, that one just
Yeah.
throws
So
me.
that's the difference, because that one
Okay.
you have to work against. Free weights is normally reverse because you have to work against gravity. Yeah. That's why I'm putting here intended movement. What are you
Okay.
actually trying to do? That's the biggest difference. That's why for a lat pull down, the eccentric would be going up. Yeah, because normally you're holding a cable or a band,
Uh-huh,
and then you're trying to resist that.
okay,
So the forward here, concentric, is overhead press going up again.
okay, concentric,
These are just different examples, or the same example, but said different ways you can think about it.
okay.
Because literally, most of the time when I see a move,
Uh-huh,
these are the ways I would break it down. This is just one move.
okay.
This is not including basically like if I was just looking at the elbow.
Mhm.
But this gives you a better way of understanding how to break things down. So forward for the overhead press would just be going up. So just this, without going down.
Okay,
Get that?
yeah, I do for that one.
Okay. The forward for a lat pull down, on the other hand, is pulling down. You
Yeah.
get that?
Yeah,
The backward forward overhead press would be holding it and then it coming down.
okay,
Eccentric.
yeah,
Okay. The backward for the lat pull down, on the other hand, is going up.
okay. Okay,
No,
Backward.
tell me.
backward. We're thinking backward, okay. Forward, backward, eccentric, oh, okay. So, okay, wait a minute. Forward, lat pull down. You're intended to go down here, so
Mhm.
that's
That would be a lat pull down.
yeah, forward,
Mm-hmm.
concentric. Okay, eccentric is backwards. Oh, I don't know, my brain just kind of going poopy here. Forward and backwards.
It's hard. Forward and backward is also literally meaning accelerating and decelerating.
Okay.
The issue here is you see these as basically one move or two moves going up and going down.
Mm-hmm.
I see them as four. There's four different movements.
Four, okay, what is it? Forward?
There's
backward.
four main ones, to be honest.
Mhm.
That's why when I break these down, overhead press is more for the front. So when I mean front, it's more for my shoulder, more for my tricep, more for my chest,
Yeah.
upper chest. Lat pull down to the other end because of the way I'm doing it is actually working my back of my shoulder, and my bicep.
Mm-hmm.
The issue here is this is one move, but depending on where the resistance is, it's two.
Right.
So it changes the way you actually see the movements.
Okay. Okay.
Now tell me what you don't get.
I don't know. I'm just I'm trying to visualize the lat pull down,
Goes down.
the back. Yeah, it goes down.
What is
So
forward?
going towards I'm just confused. We're backwards. You
What's the backwards of a lat pull down?
backwards of the lat pull down this way.
What's the difference?
Oh, okay. I was
You can't think.
thinking something different in my mind.
You're getting overhead press and lat pull down confused, so it's making
Yeah.
you confuse the other two.
Yeah, I think it was
That's the biggest issue is making sure that I added intended movement.
intended. Yeah, that helps a lot.
Because whenever you don't, it's just gonna be like, okay, well, this is going down, this is going up. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But forward and backward, this is relative to what you're doing.
Okay. So, okay, can I ask an example?
Of course.
Okay. What about like a press?
Okay.
You're intended, let's see, going toward.
You have to tell me what movement at
That's-
first you're thinking about, and I can break it down for you. Are you thinking about a leg press?
Yeah, where you're in here pushing
Okay.
out.
So
What is that called? The leg press,
a
right?
push. It's a leg push.
It's a leg push.
Okay. So
So you're intending to go
leg press, right?
forward
So the forward motion
is
is literally.
concentric,
The forward motion is what?
going towards.
Okay. But in terms of this movement, what's a concentric basically?
Yeah, it's the
Pushing,
it's the concentric, yeah.
So it's when you push.
And then the eccentric is coming back.
Mhm.
Backwards is eccentric.
So you're controlling. You're controlling its push.
Right.
That's the difference.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what's the opposite of a leg press? For our purposes, we'll just use reverse squat because
Reverse.
you know what it is.
Okay.
But they haven't made a machine that actually goes reverse.
But no.
Basically,
So reverse squat is the squat.
You know how people have gravity boots?
Yes.
That's the best way of thinking about it.
I used to do that.
Because you can actually pull. So gravity boots allow you to pull.
Okay.
Okay. And they also basically allow you, another way is reverse squat.
Yeah.
For those that really, there's not a lot of people know what a reverse squat is, but it's basically, it reverses the forward and backward. So
So
forward,
it's that's only reverse squat is the gravity.
it's when you have that, remember when we put the band up here?
Uh-huh.
So you're actually getting resistance coming down.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so your forward here is actually pulling to the ground. You're
Okay.
actually trying to go down. That's the intended
Okay.
movement.
So that's concentric right there.
Mhm. The backward
With-
here
Is the
is when you're trying to control the pull up.
up
Mhm.
with the band.
So you're
Okay.
controlling. The only reason I want you to break it up like this and understand it like this is because a lot of the times we can't do both movements.
Right. Unless you have a help.
I mean, normally,
with
most of the time,
equipment, right?
yeah, if they're not as sensitive, it doesn't matter, they can do up and down.
Yeah.
Me, on the other hand, I need to understand this because I can't go both ways most of the time. I can only
Really?
most of the time I can only go one way. Like if I do an overhead press, go up and then I have to drop it.
Oh.
So,
Because you get hurt?
yeah, like for example, remember how I told you the overhead press going down, it's very hard for me to mimic.
Mm-hmm.
So because right now I can't do it, I can't test it.
Because you know.
I can't do
Right.
it, yeah. There's no point in me testing something I can't do
Mhm.
right now at least. There is a point in me testing it because I need to figure it out, but now I have options. Okay, well, what looks like that in a way? An overhead press going down, a lat pull down going down.
So I had last night, I put the band around my elbow, I mean right here,
Yeah,
and had it from here and then
yeah.
up and down.
It just, this template gives you a better way of understanding how the motions are put together.
Yeah,
Because now you can kind of see, okay, well, I know I need to do that. What is a movement that kind of resembles it, at least resembles it? So it gives it a better way of you understanding different ways to improve your range of motion, especially in the way you kind of want to. And understanding it's the directions you want to go in and understanding the directions that kind of go from that direction away from it. Because most of the time, remember, when you're developing range of motion in the beginning, you're probably going to go away from it somehow. Somehow. It doesn't mean necessarily that you'll always be going straight into it, straight opposite of it, but it does mean that somehow you're going to be going away from it somehow. So, big subject, hard to tackle, and in 3 steps, especially if you want to become very familiar with what are really all the motions you can do, even in one thing. Because a squat can go 2 ways, and then depending on how you put, one of the things I would say is the tool does matter in relation to the movement you're trying to do.
yeah, it does. Yeah, because I will be able to use my bands really effectively if I know all these different ways
Yeah.
to do it.
Because it's just, the band is really going whatever direction you're going in. That's why I really like the bands. The reason why I say this though is because people are testing movements, like an overhead press, and one of the issues is sometimes that you're not necessarily testing everything yet. Because for example, if I need to do, what's a movement that's kind of weird? Oh, side bends. Side bends are opposite. So if I go here, say I test this way, going down to the left, but I'm holding a free weight. The problem with the free weight is if you're not really understanding it, it's doing the opposite
Yeah,
side.
it is. Yeah, the band
But if
is
this
not
is
good.
testing well, it's probably not the right tool for me. Because the band, I need to,
Because you don't have the free weight in your hand,
Yeah.
so it's coming from here,
Yeah.
not there.
exactly.
Ah.
But the other, that's why I also want you to
That's
see
what I
it this way, because now you can see both movements.
Mhm.
Because now with the free weight, if this is testing well for some reason, would going towards it test better, or is there something else different? Yeah. But this is just one way to see it. There's actually several models, but this is the first way you kind of want to understand things. Yeah. Again, this is not the way. Just remember that. This is just one way.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you kind of a role model to see it.
Yeah,
So you got that?
pretty
Okay.
much, yeah.
Okay. Your goal now is to explain that all to me. Okay.
4 ways, usually 4 ways is totally different, 1, 2, 3, 4.
See, that's the issue with a lot of people with testing is they think almost everything's the same. No, it's not. The way your body perceives it is completely different from the way
Yeah.
you think it is.
Yeah,
In general, that's just overhead press and lat pull down. They activate completely different muscles.
oh, that's right, that's true, it's
That's
for the lat in the back and the deltoid, and this is
So
for the front.
This is your one way.
I
This is your
see.
second.
I see,
But even within this,
because you're working that, but you're.
most
working
people don't
different spots.
separate. Literally, concentric is one way, eccentric
Mhm.
is the other. Concentric is one way, eccentric is the other.
Right,
Those in itself are 2 different movements. So we
They are.
combine them,
they are,
and then of
they're
course,
2 different.
and honestly, if I were to get crazier with you,
Don't do it.
Concentric, eccentric.
oh, actually,
Eccentric and concentric you call it. Okay. So,
you
yeah,
can do
then
them as
starting
you
here.
can do them as separate. You can
Uh-huh.
do them as paired, but depending on where you start from, also changes the way. It is.
Yeah, exactly, because you said starting from here, somehow.
Yeah. So even if I'm doing,
Well, that's kind of hard to start from here, and
No,
you have to get it up to
you
there.
put it here. Start from here and then go.
No, I mean starting from here.
Which one, an overhead press?
Yeah,
Yeah. So you can push press it up. That's your starting point.
okay. But you see, but you pushed it up there.
Yeah, but now from here, this is actually where you start.
Exactly.
No, but the intention is completely different.
Okay.
Your muscles will actually change.
Okay.
Because it literally, what you do when you're doing a combination move, down up. Your resting point is actually the top now.
Oh, so that's it too?
Because you're starting at the top.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
I don't think so.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
But, and it literally because of that, if you,
I get what you mean.
this is what I mean, I can make it.
And
more
so can you
complicated.
start here, like a lat pull? Start
Yeah,
here.
You'll use some way to bring it down to help you.
Yeah,
You might just,
start here.
and just bring it down.
And my intention is to go up.
Yeah. No.
I mean, to go.
It's still lat pull down, it's
Lat
just you're
pull
starting
down.
from a different spot now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just, you're making the eccentric go first and then the concentric.
Yes.
Versus normally what happens is concentric,
Yes.
eccentric.
Mm-hmm,
Most of the time it can do this, but a lot of people don't test the other way either.
yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I mean-
That's interesting.
That's what I mean, there's
I like that.
a lot more ways to think about it, I
Yeah,
gave you, but
that's
since
good.
I know you like the information, so
Mhm.
yeah.
That's cool.
This is why I mean there's, and even this, you can start separately too.
Yeah.
That's also the difference. Technically, you would also have E. So,
That would be interesting, figuring out different ways.
yeah, you just,
Doing
it's just they've been clumped for so long that people don't understand how separated they actually are.
it. Yeah.
So I mean, even when most people start exercising, let's go bench. Okay, 2 moves.
Uh-huh.
It's literally 2 moves.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, that's
It
the
is.
main difference. In life, we don't normally go, okay, that's 1 rep. You know what I mean? It's not
So with a bench press, what would be a different move? A different
bent over rows
bent over rows?
or a body row. It's just you were not on a bench. If you had a cable, then you could do it easier and make it look like a bench, but it's still the opposite movement.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, because you're pushing here.
yeah.
Pushing
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. I mean, to make it even better is if you were
Okay.
lying on a bench and then you had
Yeah.
like a cambered bar really helps for that kind of stuff
What's
because
the camera bar?
you see how that
Oh, that one.
it's like that. It's
Yeah. Oh, I
flat.
wonder.
So when
what
it
that
touches the bench,
was. Yeah. Oh.
it doesn't touch the bench. So you can go higher on it.
So that's not working your back.
No, that is working, but
Okay.
what I mean
opposite.
is what I mean
oh,
normally is if
opposite.
you have a straight bar, normally
Yeah.
it'll hit the bench
Yeah.
and you're not going through the full range of motion
Yeah.
normally.
Do they have one at the gym?
That's a specialty bar.
No, they don't.
No. That's why they don't even have a neutral bar. They don't have a thick bar. There's reasons why I have those bars. They're not
They don't
just-
have the ones with the handles.
No, not those.
Oh, I guess.
They
it's-
have ones with handles, but they're
Yeah.
easy curl bars, so they're pronated a
Oh.
little bit.
Oh.
Pronated or supinated, depending on what you're doing. But it's not like that. It's not a neutral bar. Barbells are good for adding a lot of weight.
Oh.
If you were to pick between dumbbells and barbells,
Mhm.
depending on what you're trying to do, if you're trying to build massive amounts of strength, barbell.
Barbell. Mm-hmm.
Because 2 hands, lots of weight on it.
Oh.
Dumbbell, on the other hand, is much better for if you have asymmetries or something.
Yeah.
You're trying to do one side more.
Oh.
And then kettlebells are more in general if you need a different center of mass. You can add it to
Oh.
your front or back.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Each tool kind of has its own little thing to it that you kind of want to learn.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
the next session will kind of break, depending on how you feel. We just spent more time here because of obviously how you're feeling. So,
Yeah.